Hi there and welcome to CryptoTime. My name's Antonio Shillingford and I'm here with James Coughlan. So today we're going to be talking through BSV, one of the only coins within this space that stays true to the original principles of what Bitcoin is. So it's only right that we do a bit of an update and just let people know what's currently being built on that particular project. And not just that, a lot of the stuff that's actually going on the internals. But we'll take it through stages. So of course, we're not going to touch through all of it on this one episode, but I'm pretty sure we've got a piece of news each.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think that just leaves us with, please do not accept this as investment advice. Always do your own due diligence before getting involved in any investment. And I think this is a nice opportunity to start. So where would you want to start? Do you want to start with White Company or would you prefer to start with your part, my friend?
We'll let you kick off.
Yeah. Cool. So White Company, really interesting stuff. You can also find some more information on this around CoinGeek and on their newsfeed and stuff. So really interesting. But White Company was formed in 2017, really with the idea that they were going to actually ensure that they brought a bridge to the world that we have at this moment in time. And what I mean by that is that we needed, for example, merchants to be on one side and we needed crypto to be on the other side. What we now have with White Company is a good bridge between the two. So it's been really interesting to see how they've gone about and launched this project. So just to give you some really cool metrics in terms of what they've been up to. The White Company has exchanged over $250 million in cryptocurrency into real world goods, has over $25 million transactions in White standard stable coins, and has over 100,000 clients across the globe. That's real impressive figures from a company that's only just started in 2017. And the way that they've been going about it has been fantastic. So just to kind of delve into a little bit of what they've been up to. The White Company has a wallet which they've created, which is enabling them to sort of bridge, as we were discussing before, payments with companies such as Amazon, Uber. We've got Steam, we've got iTunes there. We've got some really cool big names. I mean, I don't know if you've got anything you want to add to that, mate.
Yeah. So of course they introduced themselves in 2017. Now we know that that was the peak. So since then, the market has pretty much dropped off. So also, as a byproduct, that means that a lot of the interest has also dropped off. Now, it's good to see that there's companies out there that are getting such traction, even throughout these markets that we're in at the moment through 2018, 2019. That's a really positive thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think the fact that they are making this bridge is really important. Look, they're not the first to do it by any means. There's a lot of people that have come out with, say, Bitcoin-backed debit cards in the past. But, you know, through our experience, we've seen them make lots of problems and lots of kind of hashes around this. Now what we've seen is really a robust system come through. And the fact that they're building it with BSV, just for me, is just a massive positive, to be quite honest. Just to add on to that as well, the White wallet that they also have adds additions to the already pairings of USD, Euro, and GBP. You can now get Canadian dollars, Japanese yuan, Chinese yuan, Australian dollars, Hong Kong dollars, and a whole plethora. So really is opening the world up, not just, for example, those key jurisdictions that we're so used to hearing, which I find interesting.
And on one of the previous episodes, we were talking about the Samsung wallet. And we were also talking about how we reckon that Apple will respond. Apple just recently made their response with their card that they actually introduced. Their card is going to be based off, if I remember correctly, I think it's going to be based off MasterCard?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Now, with that, they're taking a system that is currently there, that is broken, don't really work too well, and they're trying to revolutionize that space when they are completely missing the point. And since Steve Jobs has moved away from Apple, unfortunately, of course.
We have Tim Apple.
Yeah, we have Tim Apple now. But since he's moved away, we've seen their phones that they've introduced. First of all, they're asking for extortionate money for the exact same technology that was in the previous one. And not just that, they are no longer doing anything that is revolutionary. So my personal opinion, I think we're going to start to see the decline of Apple by them not introducing themselves into the new spaces that they should be. And I reckoned that Samsung have made all the correct moves. so to speak.
No, I think that's a fair point. I think also the way that you explained, obviously, the Apple analogy with the will is an interesting one. But the articles that I've been reading have been alluding to the fact that the will they're putting on isn't even a modern will. It's not even up to standard with, for example, what is already out there. So to me, exactly what you're saying, just hammer home the same point as to, I just don't see where they're going with this at this moment in time. I think there's way better ways of doing what they're going to be doing. It's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think that also we've seen it time and time again where Apple have been battered back in the past and they come out with flying colours. So let's just see what they have to offer. I think it's going to be interesting over the next couple of years or so.
Yeah, I agree. So tucking straight into my news. My news is on a system that's been introduced called Bottle. Now, Bottle is built on top of the BSV chain, and what it quite simply is a way of you actually searching through the content that is stored on that particular blockchain. Now, that's something amazing because we're starting to see a lot of these cool ideas get introduced into BSV because it actually works, unlike a lot of the cryptocurrencies that are currently out there. Now, of course, we had the Instagram variation that got launched on BSV. Now, what Bottle actually allows you to do, it allows you to search into the blockchain, and you can search for whatever image you want. You can search for text. You can search for a plethora of different things. Now, why that's important, if we attach that to a scenario, let's take Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey being the CEO of Twitter. As of recently, he's been getting slammed, and Twitter also has been getting the exact same treatment, just as well as Facebook and a lot of these other social media sites, because we experience the internet. Now, the majority of people, they just think the internet is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of these social media sites. They don't really go elsewhere. And of course, Google being your search engine. Now, with Twitter, there was Jack Dorsey, there was recently an interview that he done on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were questioning on how they're censoring information, and they're basically quieting some people, and they're allowing other people to voice their opinions. Now, with that being said, because they have such a huge following, they potentially have the power to swing public votes when you're putting in power a particular person. So it's more about the laws that Twitter have and what laws they actually apply to, and not just that, the censorship that they do. So we've been seeing a lot of Twitter accounts getting shut down recently, and that is censoring.
Yeah, I think just to add to that point, I think they've pissed off someone they shouldn't have pissed off recently. Dr. Craig Wright is going to be an interesting one to see how this plays out. He is not happy with the way that Twitter have been conducting themselves, and rightly so. Twitter is supposed to be a platform where you can express your opinions and your thoughts, and shouldn't be censored or shouldn't be stifled or shouldn't be stopped by anyone. And that certainly has been going on. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see that, especially when you take it to that maximum scale, when you start saying about elections. It's exactly true. Yeah. I think that the way that we've gone through society is we, 10, 20 years ago, we would trust the news outlets that were in front of us because that's all we had, the BBC, the newspapers, the tabloids and everything like that. Now we obviously have social media, so we can deeper dive into the actual main narrative of what actually is happening on the ground in that place or at that actual particular time, and this just kind of leads on to it. And the problem is if you now start to question and start to distrust in things like whether the right narrative is being pushed through social media, it starts to become mind-boggling to think that who can you trust and what can you look to actually get the right answers anymore.
I completely agree. And this goes back into, just to basically tie this in and to make it relevant on why that scenario actually works perfect with something called Bottle. Because let's say that Twitter was built on top of BSV. Yeah. Now, if that was the case, that means every single comment, that means every single tweet, that means every single statement is recorded in history. They can't censor people. Now, with Bottle, you'll be able to effectively look through and search any scenario, pull whatever data you want from the blockchain forever, at any given point, at any given time. So it's the whole thing of accountability. Going back to the exact same thing that we were talking about in terms of the monetary system, this is the exact same thing with information and allowing free speech. It's all about accountability. The fact that these people like Twitter and Jack Dorsey have the power to swing votes
to distort our views. It's crazy.
Exactly. And they can allow us to view whatever they want us to view. So if they want to push a certain narrative, again, it's very easy for them to do so. So applications like this are perfect, and it shows that we are going in the right direction.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think also what's really nice with this is it obviously isn't just available for kind of one set source. Obviously, you can use this on Mac, you can use it on Windows, and also there's some sort of GitHub style of thing that they're doing, which is interesting as well. So it's nice to see that this is really being rolled out so that the masses can use it.
Compatibility.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. I think this is a great opportunity to wrap things up now. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And the same thing always applies. Please hit that notification button if you like what you're seeing, so you can always see the latest and greatest coming from CryptoTime and everything that we're working on at this moment.
As always, head over to all of our social media platforms. Majority of them will be linked in the bio. A few of the main ones being YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Peace and love.
Thanks for watching, guys.
That one was it. Yeah.
That was good.